What up, yo? I had to make a video on this while the experience is fresh in my head. I went to a Tibetan, I don't know if that's how you say it, Tibetan singing bowl session. And it's like, to describe it for anyone who doesn't know, it's like those bowls made out of this really high quality metal. They were made in like ancient times, I think, from the Tibetan people. I think mainly could come from other areas, but pretty much they use these bowls as you've heard, like alpha beats, binaural beats, kind of things. They didn't know probably of the science at the time, but the actual frequencies help people get into meditative states when you play them. And there was a session tonight that I went to that was my first time ever, and it was so profound that I just have to share it. To highly recommend it as well to any other people out there curious about sound healing, music, frequencies, all that kind of stuff. So me being the music nerd I am, I was like, I gotta check it out. People have been recommending it, if you like harmonies and things of that nature. But I just kind of went into it with an open mind, and so I went in there, and they basically tell you to let the frequency kind of take you on a journey, wherever it is in the pattern of notes that he's playing. And you kind of just sit there and close your eyes, or don't close your eyes. I wanted to close my eyes just to see like what would happen, visuals or imagination. And so there was a whole couple of different visions and thoughts I was having that I've never had ever in my life, and I was just so excited. Like, I was literally smiling like a goofball in this room of like 50 people. I was like, I just gotta drop my ego. I don't even care what I look like. That's what I was kind of doing at first, because the sounds were so good, they're so harmonizing that it hits a lot of the scientific hormones like serotonin and all that stuff. So you're just happy and giddy off the start. But I think that was a good segue to open my mind up. This certain harmonies that he was playing opened my mind up to let in, possibly some trauma that I got to deal with, or some day-to-day stuff I've been mad about. I need to push through. And so to give you guys some ideas of what I was going through, and this is for my own record so I don't forget. It's kind of like when you have a dream and you don't want to forget, so you write it down. But this was like way different than a dream. My first realization was that I was, when I got into the first dream state, which is like, I just imagined nature. That was the first thing I imagined, just beautiful, clean nature. Birds chirping with the certain frequencies this guy was playing. And birds chirping, water's flowing, and I felt like everything was okay. Like, no, I couldn't even be bothered. I was in this dream state within like the first 5 minutes, and this is the interesting thing, was I was sitting in that dream state when the bowl player kind of let the sound ring out and went down to a very low volume, almost to silence. I started coming out of that dream state, and I would, when the bowls were finally silent, no more sound coming out of them, I would hear like the little fidgeting and the moving from like the people around me. And that gave me like this unexperienced reality check And I was like, oh, I'm back in reality. Like, this is what reality is. It's like humans being humans, doing what we naturally do, which is calming because I was like, oh, so now I understand reality. Even when I'm in a slightly like out of it state of mind, like this dream state, I was still kind of halfway in it. But as soon as I like, you know, heard the fidgeting and like sensed there was humans around me, I was like, oh shit, okay. So this is different. There's a division between the kind of, I don't know, virtual state of mind, you could say, virtual reality state, and your reality that you perceive, that you want to perceive, I guess you could say. A lot of people argue that reality is what you perceive, so yeah, it's whatever you make it. But reality to me is like humans, like at its core, around me, you know, being humans. You know, they're not creatures or aliens or anything paranormal. They're solid humans, like just moving around beside me. And so that was like my like moment where maybe that was a version of lucid dreaming, which I've never done before, in a sense where I was slightly in a dream state, but I also knew where reality was. And so that was cool as hell. And kind of just made me feel like I was improving my mental toolbox, which I've never experienced that. So that was cool. And then besides that being the main thing, there was really cool visions and settings, like themes that were coming through my mind and that I've never seen before in my life, and they were so promising. It was like one really strong one that came to me was after a certain set of frequencies were played in a certain order, I visioned a community of my family, my friends, all the good positive people in my life, all of us getting together, and everyone was beaming with health, you know, glowing skin, like people were eating raw meat. That kind of came with it, because I assimilate that to good health now. You know, people playing around with each other, like, you know, letting go and not being all tied up like brainwashed adults kind of thing. Like, even the old people were fucking running around playing. Like, that's what I visioned. And it's crazy that a frequency brought that to mind. A literal set of buzzing noises. At its core, that's what it is. And it unlocks these, I guess you could say, vibrations in your own being that kind of resonate with what's going on, and brings out this state of mind that you've been wanting to express, possibly, and kind of just amplifies it so you see it. That's how I look at it, I think. This is just off the top of the dome. I'm really processing it right now, but I think this is a super promising healing technique for a lot of people, probably, to possibly get out some trauma. I didn't really have any bad trauma, I guess, fortunately, that came up in the whole session. It's really just good stuff, positive light. I was kind of expecting some trauma or something to come through, but I guess I don't. Maybe I'm not experienced enough to let my guard down enough to let that in yet. Maybe it's a practice I have to have worked on. But yeah, mainly just nice stuff. And I think, another imagery I think I found was certain frequencies, a lot of them, not certain, like a lot of them resembled the sun to me. I visioned like the sun, like just imagine like a freaking warm, like welcoming sun ray hitting your face, a lot of these frequencies just pulled me in. Like I literally felt my body moving, my head moving towards the frequency, like it was the sun. And so that makes me think now the sun like could definitely be on the same frequency, moving on the same frequency than what I was hearing. It's captivating. So it's so cool to see like and feel this stuff. Literally feel it, not just think about it. Feel it, the actual frequency, the wavelength, vice versa. Feel it working within you and creating something out of it. So, yeah. Just went on a rant there. But, yeah. I gotta do it again because, I'm not really a super spiritual person, but that makes you brings out the frequencies, bring out this out of state understanding of your surroundings, more so not just surroundings of reality, but surroundings of like what is possible in your surroundings. Like this could be this beautiful glowing community. You vision it. So yeah, I get stuck on the 9 to 5, kind of day to day, and I don't even think about this stuff. Isn't that sad? Like I don't break out of the cycle sometimes to think about visions and things. And it took frequencies, these specific frequencies to bring it out. That's, I think, one of the coolest things ever. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the rant, and hope the info was helpful at all. Maybe it'll make you want to do it. I would try it. See what comes out of it. All right. Yeah, that's about it. Experience. Highly recommend. All right.